everybody. You, of course, know my next guest as Stifler's mom from the American Pie movie. Settle down, fellas. And from such films as Legally Blonde and Best in Show, she's now co-starring in Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. Please welcome Jennifer Coolidge. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You've been funny in so many different movies, but you must have been surprised at this American Pie success. Like, you know, did you have any idea when you were doing that movie that it was going to become this phenomenon?
No, I think my take-home pay was $700 for that.
Right. And you just thought, okay, I'm going to do this and then move on to the next project. And that's a movie that, I mean, it's huge here in this country, but I think it's even internationally huge, is it?
It's huge. I mean, you know, I don't know about I haven't been all over the world, but in London, I was just there recently, and I had no idea that American Pie was such a huge movie over there. And I was walking by a pub, and I guess they let all the little boys out of school, and then they go to the pubs. Because they're all
these 11-year-old boys at the pub?
All these 11-year-old boys are at the pubs, you know, in their little jackets and their little ties. And I walked by, and, you know, I got like 100 feet down the street, and then I hear, Stifler's mom, Stifler's mom. You know, all of them in unison.
They're so cute the way they say it.
Cute boys.
Hello, it's Stifler's mom, it is.
Yeah.
And they all started dancing like chimney sweeps, I hope?
Yes, they did. They were doing the
incredible.
It was just, no, but I mean, I got recognized more there for American Pie than I've ever been here. I mean, really, it was like stopping every 2 seconds.
But I gotta say, when I came out in the monologue, it's sometimes hard to hear through the laughs. But anyway, when I was out and I mentioned that you were on the show. And I was like, you know, Stifler's mom is here. There's this whole section of boys over there that we've now restrained. But people really get excited about this. Do you find that young guys kind of think that, you know, that you're going to be this sort of racy woman just because of the role?
Yes, I know. They're hoping that...
that maybe you're that same person.
That maybe that I'm... Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of credit, you know.
Right.
When you do a movie, you get credit for things that, you know, the movie says you're something, then, you know.
Right. Then people just think, oh, okay, well, it's a given that this woman is incredibly sexual and...
Right.
Yeah,
right. I mean, yeah, I was really lucky. I mean, I'm glad there weren't more girls auditioning for that part. I never would have gotten it. Now, you're great. Some people might think it's easy. I actually think one of the hardest things to do is to play that, I'd imagine, play that dumb blonde role, which is very difficult. And you do it really well. Do you ever... Yeah, thank you. A little too well, frankly. No, you play it so well. Do you ever use that kind of character in real life to your advantage? Like, ever become the dumb blonde just to get yourself out of a situation? It gets me in everywhere.
Yeah.
No, the only time where it's really worked is, I grew up in Boston. And
Which part of Boston did you grow up in?
In Norwell, Mass.
Okay.
And a little town there. But, in Boston, if you're pulled over by the cops and you're a girl and you have all your teeth, you can actually like talk them out of the ticket.
Right,
But in LA, there's so many beautiful girls and supermodels and all these. So, no matter what they pull you over for, you usually get the ticket. The only time I didn't get the ticket was I've always tried to like be funny and stuff like that. Never gets me out of it. But this one time, this cop pulled me over and he was like, you have no plates on your car and you're driving. Do you have registration? I was like, no, I don't. And he goes, do you know what that means to have? You have no plates on your car. And I was like, you're kidding. And then he went on and on, and I was like, and everything he said, I would just go, no, you're kidding. And that was the only time I didn't get the ticket. That was the only time the guy, I thought I was going to get the ticket. He went and got in his squad car, and then he drove away. Well, and I think it was like, I think he felt so bad that I had to live my life like that.
Okay, I gotta ask you, driving a car without plates, by the way, that's pretty bad.
I know, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Struggling actors for years. I had no plates for years.
Well, let's talk about that. You just drive around, you just write on, with lipstick, you just wrote some numbers on the back of your car. K3, blah, 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 let's go. When you were struggling out there, you worked in a restaurant, didn't you? Did you work in a restaurant here in New York?
Yes, Canistel's, 19th and Park.
And who?
And very long time.
Another famous person worked there, too.
Yes, Sandra Bullock was the hostess, and I was the cocktail waitress. And, well, what happened was I stopped really showing up for all my shifts. I would show up for maybe, I had like 5 shifts, and I would show up for 3 of them. But in those days, I was in my 20s, and I was just a mess, and I liked to go out to nightclubs and things. And so I stopped, the owner wouldn't fire me, and so eventually, one day, Sandra got my cocktail, my Friday and Saturday night shifts, and that's when I had to quit. I was so mad Sandra got the shifts. But I wasn't showing up. I wasn't showing up for the job. But it was for years of not showing up for a lot of the shifts. And we had to wear these like white jackets, and like mine was all stained in the back. Like I had like, who knows what it was on the back of my jacket.
God, you sound like the worst cocktail waitress ever.
I was, but they would never fire me, and so I just. So
how can you?
I should have been fired like the first month, and I got like 5 years out of the deal.
Yeah.
So.
Any big celebs ever come by, like to eat dinner or have a drink?
Yes. O.J. Simpson told me he was going to get me my SAG card.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did.
Did he seem like a nice guy?
Well, yeah, but not that nice. He didn't get me my SAG card.
You weren't there half the time.
I know, I wasn't.
He probably came back with it, and you weren't there. Where'd she go? Oh, I don't know where I was. Driving around in a Beverly Hillbillies car with no license plate on it. Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde, is in theaters now. Jennifer, thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Very cool to have you on the show. Jennifer Coolidge, everyone. Josh Kelly coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around. All right, everybody, we're back, and fine show tonight. Great show coming up tomorrow night. You folks want to know who's on? Yeah. It's become a children's show now. Hey, kids, guess who's on? Hey, man, this first guest, you'll never get this one. Illusionist David Copperfield going to be here. That's pretty good, yeah. From the Osbournes, Jack Osbourne's going to be on the show. Yeah. And this crowd seems thrilled about this. Musical guest Jesse Harris, so watch that show. That's going to be a good one. When we take a break, we'll be right back. Josh Kelly's here. Stick around. All right, everybody, my next guest is a native of Augusta, Georgia. He's here tonight with a song from his debut album, For the Ride Home. Please welcome Josh Kelly. Hey, thank you very much. That was fantastic. Josh Kelly, everybody, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around. Well, everybody, that's our show. I do want to thank all my guests. Stay tuned for a last call with Carson Daly, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.